Cloudy evening here, but it's lovely and warm. Beautiful. This is Bowls, Theory of Everything. And this evening, indoor versus outdoor bowls. Are they the same game or are they different games? Is outdoor bowls a game halfway in between indoor bowls and 10-pin bowling? Is Australian rules football a game halfway between soccer and rugby? I pose these questions because there are so many different variables between the indoor and outdoor game. Here are some of them. I'll divide it into the ground, if you like, and above the ground. Now, the indoor surfaces are typically built with extreme precision and covered with carpet or synthetic. The results are that pace is predictable and so is the line. Outdoor greens, however, especially in the early season, can be heavy and uneven, both in line and length. The weather. Indoors can be dimly lit, a bit stuffy, with occasional bursts of air conditioning. But all these things are controllable and consistent. In the great outdoors, there can be bright sunshine, making you glint into the sun. Wear sunglasses, wear a hat. Sometimes the clouds are dark and it's rainy and windy. Sometimes your views of the jack can be distorted by shadows. Then it rains, it runs down your neck, it makes your bowl slippery, like that. And the wind plays havoc with your line and length. I'm not suggesting these outdoor handicaps make it a less enjoyable game. On the contrary, the sheer variety provides exciting challenges. The camaraderie and meetings in the bowl hut afterwards add to an experience that many bowlers love. These differences between indoors and outdoors don't just tweak your game, they can flip it on its head. But do they make the outdoor game a completely different one? So, what do we do? How do we approach these different games? Do we have different bowls? Well, we do have some different bowls. We tend to have swingy bowls like these old-fashioned lignoids. They swing more, not appropriate for indoors. And then these are VS's. We tend to bowl these indoors because you don't want a bowl that swings wildly. Do we have a different grip? Do we have a different style? Do we have a different mental approach? I'll go through each of these. Different bowls. Now, some people say, well, why have one for one and one the other? It's the same game. I've had my bowls a long time. I'm used to them. And there is an argument in that if you change the bowl, it takes quite a bit of adaptation, like changing anything in life. Sometimes, though, your indoor bowl does not work for you outdoors. And a bowl suited to the wrong surface exaggerates these problems. For example, a narrow bowl might struggle to finish on a heavy outdoor green, and a wide bias suitable for outdoors can be silly indoors. It swings so much you can't even keep it on the rink. Okay, should we use a different grip? Yes, we do have to use a grip sometimes. Indoors, it's a game of touch. Your grip is looser and you're looking for a fingertip feel on the bowl and you let it go. It's all about sensitivity. Outdoors, if you try to do that and you're swinging your arm back further, as I'll cover in a minute, that bowl will slip out if you're holding it very lightly. You have to grip it more firmly outdoors so that when you swing it back and let it go, it's not going to fall out. When the bowl is wet, which I mentioned, those elements, sometimes the claw grip makes it slippery for you when it's wet and slippery. So you might want to switch in those circumstances to a cradle grip where you grip on the outside of the bowl as well. It gives you that extra adhesion. Should we have a different style? Indoors, we tend to use short backswing, smooth follow through, and small weight adjustments make big differences indoors. Outdoors, you're going to need a longer backswing, a stronger leg drive, and a more deliberate delivery to push through a heavy green. Some bowlers develop a kind of hybrid style, but the best is to have two techniques really, one for outdoors and one for indoors. The idea is indoors you have to shrink your movement, so it's like that. Outdoors you expand it, but you don't try and do in between. It's either one or the other. Should we have a different mental approach? Indoors is a game tactical finesse, drawing to tight heads. You have to get in a zen-like state where you're repeating those drawing bowls. You don't, because of there's plenty of gaps there and big swings. There's always a way into the jack. You can confidently keep going, keep drawing, keep in that state, get in a groove. Outdoors, you can't settle like that. You can't just do that. You have to sometimes be quite tactical and variable. So sometimes you need a bit of weight to break up heads. You have to punch through bowls, playing with weight. And sometimes the draw bowl is just not on because of the unevenness of the green or the wind's a bit gusty. Sometimes you have to be much more bold and aggressive. On the end of a green here out here, and some bowls which are typical for an outdoor end. They're clustered in front of the jack. If that was indoors, you'd use a swinging bowl like this brown one, you'd probably get round it, but you can see that bowl goes pretty near straight on. So the answer usually to be bold and run into those short bowls. The idea being that either your bowl follows through or you punch a hole in it ready for the next bowl. But either way, you're more direct and you just go straight at the head like that, and you punch your bowl through. You're not going to draw it any other way. That's the answer for many of these outdoor positions. So it's a different mental approach. What's the conclusion?
Too quick.
So, are there indoor and outdoor bowls? Do they lead to two different games? What is the conclusion? We may have different bowls, different grips, different deliveries, different tactics. Well, I'd argue they are different games, but they're two branches of the same sport. One analogy is Test cricket versus T20 cricket. The same basic rules, same players, but wildly different strategies and demands. Rather than stubbornly treating bowls as one monolithic game, the smart bowler sees it like this: fluency in two dialects of the same language. What do top players such as Alec Marshall and Ellen Faulkner do? They just don't adapt between the two, they prepare them like separate events. But bear in mind, the premium outdoor events are usually played on top class greens with plenty of pace, not like these country greens that the majority of us play in. Beautiful they are, but they've got their own peculiarities, and this is methods of trying to tackle that. So what are the tips between transitioning to the fast indoors with these sort of greens? Firstly, use a set of bowls designed for each surface. So generally you may want more of a swinging bowl. That's an old-fashioned one. May have a swinging bowl which will get in. If you're a lead, you may want to stick with your own bowl, a narrow bowl, but You've got to analyse what works for you, what your position is, how it reacts on your green. You've got to find a route through to your jack, as per my video of 1 week ago, where I was examining how you can find ways through, just position on the mat, use these narrow bowls to get in, take the tighter line. Practice longer, strong deliveries before the outdoor season starts. Now I know we're halfway through, but you can still practice those long. It's got to be smooth, but it's got to be a longer delivery. You've got to practice those, and whilst you're doing it, don't remember to grip that bowl more firmly. What you mustn't do is use that indoor swing, the gentle one, and then jerk it. I call that playing two wrongs. You're playing the wrong style, the indoor style, on an outdoor green, and you're trying to compensate by jerking it through. Both of those things are wrong. They should be smooth, strong delivery. You shouldn't look as though you're forcing it outdoors. Mentally reset. Don't expect your form to instantly translate. I know I have had a lot of trouble switching from the indoor to the outdoor. Possibly take as your mental approach, indoors you can play more conservatively, more balanced. Outdoors may have to take more risks just to make your bowl, give it a chance. You might have to push bowls through, use the bowl to muscle through. You can't be timid outdoors. Remember, indoor and outdoor bowls are like two dialects of the same language. The more fluent you are in both, the more complete a bowler you are. Remember that. I know it's a difficult thing, indoor and outdoor, but here are a few tips. I hope they help you. I'll keep you posted of how I'm getting on. Thanks for joining me once again. Please comment on these differences and subscribe to get my next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.